Welcome to WNL Sports Weekly. I'm your host, Jeremy Franklin. This week, we'll speak with football captain Ryan Welsh, women's soccer captain Maggie Sutherland, and men's soccer coach Rolf Piranian. But first, here's a look back at last weekend in Washington and Lee sports. Senior Kat Telfian and first-year Lauren Schultz finished first and second as women's cross-country won the Maroon Invitational at Roanoke College. The Generals finished 20 points ahead of second-place Lynchburg. Washington and Lee claimed a pair of titles at the Wilson ITA Southeast Regional Women's Tennis Tournament at Mary Washington. First-year Christina Douglas beat teammate and classmate Laura Simmons in the Blue 2 singles draw, while the two paired up to win the Blue 3 doubles flight. Field hockey picked up a pair of ODAC victories, defeating Randolph-Macon 4-1 at the WNL Turf Field on Friday night before collecting a 5-2 win at Sweetbriar on Saturday. Senior Alex Caritas had 2 goals and 1 assist against the Yellow Jackets, while senior Steph Manzi scored twice in the win over the Vixens. Washington and Lee managed just 37 yards of total offense in the second half of a 14-10 loss at Averett on the gridiron. Senior Matt Castley had 10 tackles and 2 sacks, but the Generals fell to 1-3. The volleyball team went 1-3 in the Emory tournament in Atlanta. Washington and Lee fell in straight sets to Shorter, Thomas More, and third-ranked Emory, but defeated ODAC foe Lynchburg 3-1. Against the Hornets, senior Rachel Phillips had 20 kills, while sophomore Lindsay D had 9 blocks and 9 kills. Washington and Lee then lost 3-2 at Emory and Henry on Tuesday night. Women's soccer dropped a tough 5-0 decision at top-ranked Messiah. The Generals and the Falcons played to a 0-0 tie at halftime before the defending champions pulled away in the second half for the win. In golf, WNL placed 9th at the Greensboro Invitational, the second of 4 tournaments in the fall season for the Generals. And in men's soccer, Washington and Lee lost a 3-2 Guilford 4-3 on Tuesday at Watt Field. The Quakers overcame a 3-0 deficit in the second half, but first-year Dave Phillips' 84th minute winner gave the Generals their first ODAC victory of the season. With me now is the head coach of Washington and Lee, Rolf Piranian. Rolf, welcome to the show.
Good to be here.
How does an exciting victory like you had against Guilford this week help your team build up confidence and momentum?
Well, it was a difficult game for us yesterday. Going up 3-0 was pretty exciting, but then to give 3 goals away in the second half was a bit deflating. To come back and win it, despite all that happened, obviously makes it a positive experience, but really it serves as a wake-up call to the team more so than like a momentum builder.
The offense really has woken up the last couple of games. You had 5 goals in 5 matches to start the year, but now 6 goals in the last 2. What's happened to help the offense move along so quickly?
Well, we have changed our formation, trying to increase our scoring production. We were playing what we call a 4-2-3-1 last year, playing a 4-4-2 now. It opens us up a little bit more defensively, but hopefully we're really beat up. Our options are a bit limited because of the number of injuries we have right now. But hopefully, some of those kids are coming back soon. We have the potential to be a very good team at this point. We've got to step it up. So a lot of it depends on those kids getting healthy and getting back into the lineup.
After road games against Randolph and Virginia Wesleyan, 4 of your last 5 conference contests will be at Watt Field. How will that help you as you look to finish strong and get a good seed for the ODAC tournament?
Well, we love playing on grass. Most of our games have been on field turf to this point in the league. So playing at home on our grass field really will raise our game. Obviously, we hope to have good fan support. It's fun playing at home, and I think we've always felt playing at Watt Field is an advantage. So certainly, it's going to be crucial as we go down the stretch because the hunt for playoff spots in the ODAC is really tight this year.
Well, Coach, thank you for joining us. Good luck against the Wildcats on Saturday.
Thanks a lot.
With me now is Maggie Sutherland, women's soccer captain from Pittsburgh. Maggie, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Over your first 5 matches, including that big win against Virginia Wesleyan, the team played extremely well. How were you able to start off so strongly, especially with such a young roster?
Well, you come into preseason and you never really know what to expect. You have the roster in front of you, but you don't know what level of competition these players will bring to practice and to games. And we had a whole slew of sophomores step in, not as underclassmen, but actually as leaders on this team. So that played a great role in the great start that we had.
Tough loss to Messiah up in Pennsylvania this weekend, and I will remind you as well as our viewers that Messiah won the national championship game last year against Wheaton College 5-0. But how do you bounce back from a game like that, and what is your role as captain in helping motivate the team again?
Well, we have to move on and look to the future, but we don't want that loss against Messiah to be a complete loss. We want to get something out of it, and I think that they broke us, and that type of action in a soccer game is very crucial to know how to come back from. And I think that if we build off of that, and if we now know if we go down a goal, we need to be able to come back, and the team can't break us like Messiah did. So I'm just going to keep telling the team that and keep motivating them, and hopefully we can build off of that big loss.
A ODAC title is a key goal for the Generals here in 2009. How do you go about winning one?
Well, of course, there's the hard work and determination and practice that we're going to need to have, but right now we just want to put ourselves in a good position, get a good bid in the tournament so that we have home field advantage. And then when it comes to the tournament play, we just need to play on the day. Every game, every play, and I think we have the ability, and as long as we bring the right attitude to those big games, we're going to pull through.
Now, you've already won an ODAC championship with the women's track and field team during the indoor season last year. How does that experience carry over to the soccer pitch?
I mean, I think, in my opinion, it's independent from the ODAC championship in the soccer program. I know what it feels like to have your hard work and your hard work pay off and win the ODAC championship, but soccer team's completely different to me. I still don't have that ODAC championship in soccer, and I don't want to hang up my jersey until I have that.
Well, Maggie, thank you for joining us. Good luck as you pursue that ODAC title.
Thanks very much for having me.
With me now is Ryan Welsh, football captain from Robbinsville, New Jersey. Ryan, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Jeremy. It's good to be here.
We've seen just how effective the Washington and Lee offense can be here in 2009. 322 rushing yards against Greensboro, that great first half against Sewanee. What will it take for the Generals to put together 4 good offensive quarters?
I think what it really comes down to is minimizing our mistakes. I think a lot of the time it hasn't been a lack of effort, it's been a lack of execution on our part on the offensive side of the ball. And a lot of times, we're turning the ball over in inopportune points in the game, and we have, penalties at times when we were giving up good plays because of those penalties. So I think it's all about minimizing mistakes, and even when we make mistakes, putting them behind us and, trying to score when we're in the red zone. That's a big factor for us on offense.
The Generals are 1-3 right now, but in another sense, you're 0-0 with ODAC play starting at Randolph-Macon on Saturday. Has the team refocused and started looking toward the conference schedule now?
I think we're definitely refocused. The thing about the ODAC, the great thing about the ODAC in football is no team is that much better than another team. I mean, when we won the ODAC freshman year, we had one loss, and it was to Bridgewater, and they crushed us that year, but we won the ODAC. And even last year, our one win in ODAC was against Randolph-Macon, who ended up going off with a couple wins and winning the ODAC. So there's not one team that's any, that much better. So I think we're really focused on trying to get as many wins as we can in the ODAC. We're taking this 0-0 record, kind of idea into it, but I think we're focused, and I think one win this week will go a long way towards getting us focused on an ODAC championship.
What factors did you consider when choosing to come to Washington and Lee and play varsity football?
Well, I knew my senior year in high school that I wanted to play college football, and the 3 schools that mainly looked at me were Washington and Lee, Johns Hopkins, and Williams College in Massachusetts. And a lot of my friends senior year said, "Do you really want to go that far down south and go to Washington and Lee?" But the main factor was that none of those schools offered the top-notch academic and athletic tradition that Washington and Lee offered. And as far as the team goes, when I came here and visited, the cohesiveness of that unit of guys was unlike any other school I had seen. And these are guys you're going to go to battle with every Saturday. So you got to be able to trust the guy next to you, and that's exactly what I saw. I saw something special here, and I'm glad after 4 years looking back on it, I'm glad I made the decision to come here.
Washington and Lee beat Randolph-Macon on homecoming Saturday last season, and the Yellow Jackets went on to win the ODAC championship. What will it take for another victory against Randolph-Macon this Saturday?
Well, our defense is playing as well as it's played in my 4 years here. I think they're playing as well as they did my freshman year when we won the ODAC. So I think it's all about offensively putting up some points early, and as I said before, minimizing our mistakes and minimizing our turnovers. I think if we can jump on Randolph-Macon early, much like we did last year, we can kind of put them away, and our defense will really step up and take care of the rest of the job.
Ryan, thank you for joining us, and good luck against Randolph-Macon.
Thank you for having me, Jeremy.
The 23rd annual Lee Jackson Lacrosse Classic between Washington and Lee and VMI will take place this Friday at 7:30 p.m. at Wilson Field. Also on Friday, field hockey hosts Limestone at 6:30 and volleyball travels to Randolph. For the second straight week, Saturday sees all WNL teams on the road. Men's cross country will run at George Mason, while the women's team heads to Eastern Mennonite for the Royals Invitational. Women's soccer and football will both play at Randolph-Macon, and volleyball visits Mary Washington. The day ends with men's soccer at Randolph College for a 7 o'clock kickoff. On Sunday, women's soccer plays host to Randolph at 2, while field hockey travels to Mary Washington. And the men's tennis team will compete at the ITA South Atlantic Regional this weekend, also in Fredericksburg. For the latest scores, schedules, and news on Washington and Lee sports, visit the all-new athletics website at generalsports.com. For WNL Sports Weekly, I'm Jeremy Franklin. Thanks for watching.